Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Living That DMV Life from Van Meter Homes. I'm Ernie Kiger. Even though I've worked in the new homes industry for many years, today's subject matter, home interior design, I know very little about. One day about 15 years ago, we were about to open a very large model home in a prestigious Van Meter community. The model wasn't complete, and I was invited to attend a design meeting. Here I was to see the designer's plans for paint color, window treatments, furniture, things like that. We sat at a big conference table, and the designer put some avocados, some raspberries, and Hershey's Kisses in the center of the table. She goes on to say, "This is how this home is going to feel." The only thing I felt at that point was totally lost. About a month later, though, after I saw what she did, I got it. The magic of interior design. And today we welcome Julie Coppa to the program of Julie Coppa Designs. Hi, Julie.
Great to be here, Ernie. I'm excited.
Seems to me that interior design is very important to a great many people. As I've been selling new homes for over 20 years, I have a pretty good feel for it. So I'm really interested, how do you begin with a brand new client who has their own ideas in their own head? How do you get into that?
Well, what I do is really relationship oriented. I take the time to really understand the client. So I begin with the client questionnaire. And answers don't always come easy to the client, but I really work closely with them to help them find the answers. And, there's the expected questions. Who lives in the home? Are there any pets? Where do they like to spend most of their time in their home? What colors do they like? Patterns. But then there's questions that make them think a little bit more, like what did they love about their childhood home? What did they like to splurge on? What are the 3 most important things in their home? And those are the ones that sometimes when they might struggle a little bit, I can ask them questions or give them ideas that kind of spark ideas within them. Then I compile all that information and I use it to develop a design that's a reflection of who they are and how they live.
What are the most important things, the most important factors for you that you have found that are really most important for your buyer, your customer?
Oh, well, that's a great question, Ernie, because there are so many factors that need to be considered. But I find that the scale of the space is ultimately the most important, as that's going to dictate the pieces that I select for the room. So I have to consider the size of the room, the ceiling height, the window and door sizes. And scale is a design principle. It's what guides us into creating interiors that look and feel right. It's not a matter of taste. So when something's out of scale, it's noticeable right away, like a dinky chandelier in a large dining room or a sofa that's too big for a room. You notice it. You might not be able to put your finger on it and say what's wrong, but you can easily identify the feeling that something's not right. And then scale goes hand in hand with proportion. As with each new selection, I need to make sure that the proportions are relative with the other pieces together. And this applies to everything from rugs, which ground the space and anchor the furniture, to accessories I place upon tabletops. It's basically, scale is how I always initially analyze any room or space.
The world's a little bit different now than it was 12 months ago. And I know in the world of designing homes and floor plans and things that our business has changed a little bit, because people are having home offices now, not going into the office, staying home a whole lot more, entertaining at home. It has changed our approach to designing homes. And I wonder about the outdoor spaces. They become a really, really big thing with Van Meter. I wonder, how about you, outdoor spaces? Do you deal with that as well?
Yes, I do a lot of outdoor spaces. And my philosophy is to make the outdoor space an extension of the interior. So it's just a continuation. And since COVID-19, outdoor spaces have jumped to the top of the priority list because they're being used much longer and more extensively, and they're basically becoming a year-round retreat. personally, I like to keep the furniture and fixtures neutral and then bring in pops of color with pillows and throws. Yeah. Outdoor rugs are also a great way to introduce color and pattern, and they also help anchor the space. I'm a huge fan of mixing materials and textiles, which immediately makes the space more interesting. Mixing materials works just like it does inside the house. It adds interest, texture, depth. So, for example, concrete, natural wood, woven materials, and metals can all be mixed together. I also like to bring in pieces that can be multi-purposed. Some tables that can double as ottomans, or even a storage chest for cushions that can be used for more seating. So if you're, typically a family of 4 that's at home, you want it, intimate for that. But then if you have other people over, you want to be able to, accommodate more people as well. And then for lighting, I love to create intimate settings by using hurricane lamps and candles and lanterns, and then string lights. They're always a crowd pleaser. Who doesn't love those? And now in the colder months, when people would normally head inside to entertain, due to the pandemic, they're staying outdoors longer with the use of heaters and, of course, fire pits and cozier blankets. And so we see a year-round use of the outdoor spaces.
How about other changes to your business because of the pandemic? Has there been any other major things that maybe we wouldn't otherwise have thought of?
Yeah, there's actually been a dramatic increase in demand for design-related services, which has created a huge uptick in business. I mean, COVID-19 put a spotlight on our homes, which have become more important than ever. Our surroundings have a profound effect on the way we feel within our 4 walls. I mean, they can lift us up or they can bring us down. And it's changed the way we live in our homes. Our homes quickly became a place to work, exercise, and even attend school. Outdoor spaces, home offices, and Zoom rooms became priorities overnight. With multiple people being home at the same time, taking calls and sitting in on class, people are looking to have defined spaces and dedicated zones. Renovations have also taken off. I've done a lot of consultations and design presentations over Zoom. And in the warmer months, I had meetings on front porches and in backyards, And so, but it's even in the time of a pandemic, as a designer, it's a really exciting time because I really, truly relish the opportunity to get creative in repurposing people's spaces and homes and how they want and need to live in today's world.
You have a huge skill set here, and you take on a challenging task of actually trying to make other people happy. Do you have a mission as an interior designer? What would your mission be when a client shakes your hand and says, yes, do this for me?
I love this question. This is what absolutely drives me. I mean, my mission is simple. It's to create homes that people love. Homes that reflect their personality and the way they live, that make them smile and are a sanctuary from the stresses of the rest of the world. A home where they can simply be at home. I also have some guiding philosophies that go along with that mission. Function and form, one doesn't trump the other. Truth and trust, crucial components to a designer-client relationship. No stress. My goal is to make the endeavor a pleasant experience, if not just downright joyous. Quality products and quality work, and everything is figure-outable.
Figure-outable.
Figure-outable, yep.
Beautiful. Julie Coppa, you can be reached at juliecoppadesigns.com. Is that your preferred way of communicating, reaching out?
Yes, absolutely. You can either call me directly at 404-964-6958, or you can send me an email at julie@juliecoppadesigns.com, or you can go to my website, which is www.juliecoppadesigns.com.
Okay, and that's designs with the S.
It is.
All right. Julie, thank you so very much.
Oh, thank you, Ernie. It was great.